And welcome back into the backup plan. You know us too, but you got to know this guy right here. Jared Freid, amazingly funny guy. Social media, comedy shows, touring, podcasts, all the things. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. Yeah. I mean,
I did my research.
You know everything. I love it.
No, we're going to find out more about you
let's
here
hear
today.
it. Yeah.
We got to get started. You know, we've seen some of your videos. Hannah and I were discussing it earlier today. How did you even get into the comedy game?
I just liked making my friends laugh over email, as crazy as that is. Like, I'm 37, if you're around my age. Like, the original group chat was the group email. Like, what are we going to do this weekend? And then you'd go and roast your friends on the email.
Was this on AOL, too?
Like AOL Instant Messenger.
Right.
Yeah, I'm 1,000 years old. So I'm like, you know, I'm on these group emails. I'm starting working in New York City, and then, like, I'd make fun of someone, and then someone go off the email directly to me. Oh my God, that made my day. That was so funny. And I was like, I got to do this. How do I shoot this into my veins every day? This feeling of someone being like, wow, that's funny. So, you know, you start going to open mics and you start writing for places, and you kind of try to find places where, you know, in this world of, look at this, we're shooting this in a closet. Like, the world is different now. Like, we're on Amazon Prime. Like, you know, streaming, all this stuff. So it's like, you get to create your own show. The internet has allowed you to create your own thing. So along the way, I was always looking to, like, create my own thing, because I wasn't waiting for someone from on above to kind of put me in things. So I've done, like, you know, the podcasting, and people somehow come to me for relationship advice, even though I'm 37 and single and I can't even handle my own life. You know, I yell at the Bachelor.
Happens,
Well, that's the thing. It's easier. Bill Belichick never played for the Patriots.
This is true.
Coaches coach, players play. I think I'm a better coach than a player when it comes to relationships. So
You can tell people what they're doing wrong, but
Right.
don't ask me what I did wrong.
No. Advice, very easy to give, very difficult to take. You know, it's very
so
easy for
true.
me. I can see, here's where you got to go. And then I'm in that position, I'm like, yeah, I'm a wuss. I'm not going to look someone in the eye and say the right thing. And we all take, you know, the side routes to, you know, the relationship stuff.
Yeah, the fun happens. Some of your relationship advice is hilarious.
Yeah,
Thank
you focus a lot on relationships, situationships. You just said this. What really, you know, draws you to these topics?
For whatever reason, my female friends would always come to me.
Okay.
My whole life, always.
Objective
AOL
male.
Instant
You give objective male perspective.
Exactly. And without hate or shame. And I think a lot of men, they're not palatable when they talk about, I'm not saying things that are crazy or something that's revolutionary. There is, all dating advice has been said before, but how are you saying it? How are you imparting it to people? Are you making it where you're going, where the person on the other end, because some of this gets into icky stuff. You know, dating is icky. Like, it's personal. It's, you know, there's just so many elements that hit you right, like the place that hurts the most. So it's like, how can you deliver a message from the other side to go, this person's not evil, they're maybe not doing the right things, but here's where their perspective's coming from. And I always say, I'm the center part of the bell curve. I'm 10% away from any guy you're dating. You know, the guy you're dating isn't 100% away from me.
Yeah.
He might be 10 to the right, 10 to the left, but I'm right around where he's thinking. So I'm usually on the ball with what people are dealing with.
I feel like you would really give it to people straight with the advice.
I try my best to. You know, you try to give it. It's always honest, but let me do it in a way that's, again, palatable, not hateful, not a little less icky than maybe, you know, guys are just, you know, when guys are direct, or when anyone's direct, male, female,
Feelings
whatever you
get
identify.
hurt, right?
Feelings get hurt when you're direct, and then they go, well, that's just who I am. I'm just a jerk. It's like, yeah, that's why we don't hang out with you, right? You say things wrong, you know? So it is about having class and talking about it in a way that's entertaining too, because again, dating is the hard. Some people crushing in their career, killing it with their friends, and it's the one thing they can't figure out, and they are like, and that's taken a while for me to realize. Like, when I first started talking about it, I'm what, 27, a dude talking about dating and relationships, I probably sound like an idiot. Now I do understand, like, it's the hardest thing they deal with, and they can't, and you're just trying to help them out.
All right, so I did not come up with these questions. These are viewers submitted questions right here.
Love it.
And we're calling this our Sports Talk Relationship Questions.
Call it.
We know you give us the real deal.
These are some people.
We know you give the
This
real
is
deal.
in the office. Okay,
Yeah.
Gwen in the car. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on EEI. I'm on the sports radio. We got Ralph and the Cape.
Hey, Waltham,
Yeah,
Waltham. I've been to
Right.
Boston. I know about
You know
WEEI.
some towns, yeah.
All right, so we're going to give this to Katie, calling us all the way from Iowa City, Iowa.
Okay.
How hard should I try to get the person I'm dating's dad to like me? So she wants to get the dad to like.
See, how hard should I try? Sometimes the answer's in the email. You should. I think how hard should I try? I don't like how hard should I try.
Yes.
You're dating someone. You're a team. When you're with someone, there's a label. You go from me to we.
Ooh.
So you have a boyfriend. That boyfriend has to coach you up. It's got to be like, again, back to Bill Belichick. They got to work with you. Tell me the things your dad likes to do. Tell me the subjects I can talk about. What is he like when I come to the house? Should I bring a gift? Flowers for the mom, bottle of whiskey for the dad. Who knows? But I think this is all about teaming up with your significant other to like, hey, let's work together to make this guy love me because that makes his life easier. He should want his dad to love you because now his life is easier. So let's speak to the person you're with and like, it's a little bit of a sales thing where you're like, okay, the person I'm with, I know that they want their life easier. So help me get your dad to like me because then I won't be yelling at you that your dad's a jerk.
Okay, I have another relationship question for you. Is it okay to recycle date spots? This answer better be yes.
It's okay. It's okay to
I mean,
recycle
look at New York
dates.
City, man. There's only so many spots. You know
Right.
the routine. You know the transit to get back to your
There's 5
apartment. You
million.
know what
I
it is.
think it's okay to recycle date spots, but I think you have to be, again, classy with it. You can't go to one spot every time. Hey, Jared, welcome back. Who's the new gal? Like, you don't want that. You want, let's have 5 date spots and go cycle through. Let's go, let's have 5 different spots that you can depend on. Because here's the thing. A lot of women want men to make a plan. There's nothing hotter than making a plan. Nothing
True.
is
Preach.
nothing is great.
He's preaching right now, bro.
I'm telling
He's
you,
preaching.
women love a plan, and they love what neighborhood are you in? What's the best option? What would be easiest for you? Okay, your neighborhood's this. I'll choose a place near that. If you are working with them and making a plan, you're already the bar is on the ground. So like you are doing so much better than the next date they're gonna go on. So if you have 5 or 6 spots that you can kind of cycle through that are in different areas of town that you can stay, and you gotta do the act. Hey, I know a place near you, and you can go back to the same spot twice.
I think it's interesting because
like that
comedians are so great at like social commentary and seeing what's going on that you have the objective way to be funny but also be truthful and like, you're the reason why the relationship is messing up. Here's what you need to do to make it better.
Well, it is so interesting. Like, there's a lot of women that write to my podcast. They're like, they talk about men like they have no emotional intelligence whatsoever. And I go, that's just not true. You're letting them off the hook. Usually when a plan is not made, it's because a guy didn't want to make a plan. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of times we go, well, he's keeps texting and doesn't say we should go on a date. There's a reason for everything. So it's like, people hover. What do? They fly around like a helicopter. They hover,
right.
and then they go because there's something else they're working on.
Yeah.
So it is one of those things with like what date spot to choose. Why doesn't he choose a good date spot? He got on the app, downloaded it, talked to you, was perfectly pleasant and normal until this moment where you want the date. So something is off. So you can see it.
The options. All right. I know
okay.
this one's all Hannah right here.
Oh, no. Oh, I see what you're doing. So we know that you are a big fan of The Bachelor series.
Love The Bachelor.
You talk about it a lot on social media, your podcast. We actually had Grocery Store Joe on the show earlier this week. And,
Great guy.
He's a great guy. He's tall, good-looking guy. But you have another idea.
I call
for
Joe the
franchise.
reluctant king. Because he just was, shucks, can't believe this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like Joe.
He has that thing. Okay, so yeah, he fits all these boxes you would typically want to fit for like a Bachelor stereotype guy, right? You have another idea for the franchise.
I have
it involves
many
a
ideas.
short king.
Well, I think there should be normal Bachelor. I think there should be normal Bachelor, normal Bachelorette. And then the problem when you get into the word normal is that it sounds like you're maybe being mean to these people who you would cast. But I'm normal Bachelor. Like I always say, whenever I meet these people, what did you notice about Joe? Tall. They're all tall. Every Bachelor
said the same
contestant.
thing, which was funny.
They're all tall.
Yeah.
They're all tree-like figures. Like if I went on that show with them, I would look like a bush, like next to them. Like it would look bad. So I need people that look like me, so I don't look like I stick out on a show like that. So I do think having shorter men, I think the problem with the show is the age. I think the reason people are falling away from the show is like the age isn't realistic. We don't live in a time where 25-year-old men get 100,000 Instagram followers and then say, I gotta settle down. That's just not the way it works. No one believes that. I think what they should do, I think The Bachelorette is the show I would change the most because I think that's the one that has the most, place to be, bettered.
Okay.
35-year-old woman, divorced, okay? So she's done the wedding, she's done Cinderella, she's had that out of the way. 35-year-old woman divorced, killing it. Like I want
Boss.
senior boss,
Executive. Boss lady,
Okay.
high heels. Look, I'm writing my own show right now. I want
Or you're putting out the
lawyer.
profile what you're looking for.
This is what I'm looking. Please, if you're out there in high heels and you're a successful woman who's 35 and recently divorced, I'm here. I'm single. So I want 35 and above, and then I want the men to be 50 and above.
Oh.
I want the men to be because here's the thing.
Wasn't that a Sugar Daddy show? They tried that.
Well, here's the thing about the men on the show. The 25-year-old men, they're all like puppy dogs. They never do drama. There's nothing that looks worse on a man than age and success. So men above the age of 50 are kind of our worst, most embarrassing representation. So they're like, paisley shirt, slick back hair, they've gotten it colored, they're successful in some industry, so they're super ego-filled and cocky. I want that guy on The Bachelorette. So watch those guys kind of go at each other. Big watch that makes no sense. I want that guy fighting for the hotshot 35-year-old woman. This would be, and now we're all into it. Like, to bring it to sports, like, look at what's going on with Tom Brady. The guy looks crazy.
This is true.
He looks out of his mind. This is one of my heroes. And he looks like divorced dad territory, right? He moves to Florida. This
what happens.
This is what happens. Gets
when you move to
divorced from
Florida.
his original family, moves to Tampa. He is the divorced dad. This is,
that's true.
Okay. So you lead me to the next question here.
Sure.
Lifelong Boston area native, massive
Yes.
Patriots fan. Are you going through withdrawal right now? You grew up 20 years of dominance.
It's hard. It's really difficult because you can't forget the good times. I'll always have those in the memory bank. I was at the Snowball game with the some people call it the tuck rule game. If you're from the Boston area, called the Snowball. I was there. I was in that stadium, so I have the great memories. I have the hugs with friends and family, and now they're just so mediocre. And you know what it is? It's like going from flying private to flying commercial, right? You can't go back. You can't lose the memories of private flights. I've done a private flight. I'm very lucky. I was invited on. This ain't my plane. I'm here on Amazon. I got nothing. So I was on someone else, and you go on it. You don't go through TSA. You don't go through TSA. You walk on the runway. You go right on the plane. They go, you want to leave? Leave anytime you want. That's what it's like. We were flying private for 20 years, and now I'm on Delta Comfort Class because they're like a fine organization. Right. They're never gonna be that again. Like that is, that's the steel curtain. That's, there's.
You have to give to the others. Give to the needy.
Right, well, now we've given to the needy. Now
Probably
they're
bitter. Yeah, I want the private plane.
What's your team?
The Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo. See, Buffalo wants it so bad. I was in Buffalo. Buffalo Bills fans. I wanted to cheer for you guys. They're out of their minds.
You have to cheer for us.
That's the thing. They all think that they're like foster children that I have to support. Like they think they have this like story.
True.
I was in Buffalo doing the shows. This woman goes. She goes, "Are you a Buffalo Bills fan?" And I go, "No, I'm a Patriots fan." She goes, "Why don't you like the Bills?" And I was like, there's other stadiums every weekend with fans of other teams. You know this, right?
That's true. Oh, big facts.
Right. And she was like, well, why? Like, she couldn't understand that I would cheer for it. It was offensive to her that I would like another team. I was like, I was born in another part of the country. What do you want me to do?
Incredibly funny guy right here. Jared Freid, thank you so much for coming in, my man. Look at the camera. Plug away.
This was a blast. I'm at Jared Freid on Instagram. If you want a new podcast, it's called the You Up Podcast. It comes out every Wednesday and Sunday. all the dating talk you could ever want. So, yeah, at Jared Freid, the U Up Podcast.
We love to hear it. We'll certainly be tuning in. Thank you again, and we'll be right back with more of the Backup Plan after this. Stay with us.